So we talked about this yesterday on the show. As I said, I don't think in my lifetime there has ever been a division in football that's as stacked in coaching as the AFC West this year. So this will be the first division in the history of the NFL that has had 3+ head coaches that have won a Super Bowl and a fourth that's made a Super Bowl entering a season. And it's the only division in football where every head coach in the division has either entered a season having won a Super Bowl or won a national championship. So usually you have one elite coach in a division and one ascending one, and then one who's, maybe a retread, but he's okay, he's on the brink, and then one that's a total whiff. Here it's Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and whatever you think of Pete Carroll. And my take on Pete Carroll is whatever you think of Mike Tomlin, you have to think the same of Pete Carroll because they're the same coach. They've got a trophy, great motivators, great energy, really good sense of personnel, great culture builders, and defensive guys who I think sometimes can be a little tone deaf to the offensive line and the offensive sensibility. I wish Pete didn't love Geno Smith as much as he loves Geno Smith, but whatever. Also in this division, J-Mac, before you throw out your all-time, coaching division, here's something else to consider. The best coordinator in football is in this division, Spags. Jesse Minter took the 32nd ranked defense to number 1 in a season. So he's a top 5 or 6 coordinator. Chip Kelly. So you not only have historical truths with this coaching staff, and yet if Pete Carroll's viewed as 4, I'm sorry, he is Mike Tomlin. Trophies, multiple Super Bowls, defense, culture, energy, beloved by most of his players. So your argument is the Joe Gibbs, Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, and Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, so the only problem with Buddy Ryan, obviously he, had a bunch of issues there on the sideline. He was a much better defensive coordinator than he was head coach. But you could, Joe Gibbs is certainly top 5 on resume all time, right? Bill Parcells, probably top 7 all time among head coaches ever.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimmy Johnson, he needs no introduction. So I guess I could argue you might have 4 who have been to a Super Bowl. Well, I have 3 of the best 7 of all time. It's an interesting discussion, no?
I will say, I think coaching's getting better because I will say I think the AFC North with Tomlin, Stefanski, John Harbaugh, and I think Zach Taylor's better than you do, but I understand the criticism. That's a good coaching division. And then we have Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell. And now we don't know what Ben Johnson is. I think he's going to work. I think he's really, really sharp. So, we have 3 divisions where I don't look at anybody as a huge liability. Now, again, I think Zach Taylor's capable. I think he's bright. I think he got to a Super Bowl with a terrible O-line.
Okay, is he a top 10 coach in the NFL right now?
I would put him close to 9 or 10, yeah.
Zach Taylor?
No, remember.
Oh
who's his owner? Cheapest owner in the league.
Yeah, remember, who's his quarterback? That's the only reason he's not fired.
His quarterback's hurt often. His owner's the cheapest in the league, and the front office is one of the smallest scouting departments. So you have to add context. Like I always say about Brock Purdy, it helps when you have Kyle Shanahan. If you look at Zach Taylor, Nick Sirianni has the best GM and a top 5 owner. Zach Taylor has the most frugal ownership group. They still don't have an outdoor facility. I think they're the only northern geographical team without one. And the front office, it does not manipulate drafts. They just draft their draft picks they have.
We're just bending over backwards to defend Zach Taylor because he went to 1 Super Bowl, okay? If I polled the GMs around the league, would you rather have Mike McDaniel or Zach Taylor as your head coach?
Zach Taylor.
No way! It's got to be McDaniel. Come on. You're not serious, are you?
The Dolphins, in 2 years before McDaniel got there, were viewed as a train wreck. His first 2 years, he won 1 more game. Yeah, so when you tell me how great Mike McDaniel's in a division where the Jets have been a tire fire and the Patriots have been a tire fire for the last several years, So he entered it at a spot where, I mean, he got 4 wins almost automatically if you know what you're doing.
He gets to, do you talk about injured quarterback with Cincinnati? What about Tua? I think that misses more time than any starting quarterback. And yet McDaniel's made the playoffs twice. One time you lose to Kansas City and negative
Zach
30
Taylor and
Mike
McDaniel. We should do that resume. Zach Taylor and Mike McDaniel. I would take Zach Taylor.
I think you're probably on
Zach Taylor has won multiple road playoff games. Zach Taylor has to face the Ravens. He's got to face, I mean, I think Stefanski's a great coach. I think Tomlin's
Zach Taylor,
coach.
Colin, is Zach Taylor a top 10 coach in the AFC?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, he's definitely not better than any of the 4 in the AFC West.
Let's just talk about that. Let's just spitball. Okay. So Andy Reid, both Harbaughs, McVay, Shanahan. Okay, let's just get those out. Sean Payton, I'm at 6.
McDermott of Buffalo.
7. Dan Campbell.
Mike Tomlin.
8, 9. Pete Carroll, 10. So I think Zach Taylor,
Wait. D'Amico Ryans in Houston. He's been there for 2 years. He's been excellent.
Zach Taylor won 3 straight road games as a road coach and got to win a play of winning the Super Bowl with the cheapest owner in the sport and a front office that does no deals.
Kevin Stefanski or
Zach Taylor has won 5 playoff games.
Kevin Stefanski has won Coach of the Year. Kevin O'Connell. How about this? Kevin O'Connell or your guy, Zach Taylor.
So you think Coach of the Year is bigger than playoff wins? Well, that's like saying I won an Emmy or I got a new contract. Which would you take?
I mean, if Stefanski had Joe Burrow, what's it? The sky's the limit.
Would you rather win an Emmy or get a 5-year contract?
Well, that's a different discussion. I mean, I'm not.
Time out. That's a different discussion. An award? Who gives a rip?
Well,
Who votes on awards?
You
Media?
get gifted Joe Burrow. Your expectations are Super Bowl contender every year.
Who cares about awards?
I mean, Coach of the Year? He's winning Coach of the Year with like 3 or 4 quarterbacks. He doesn't have anybody good.
Yeah, you and I are different business guys. You want plaques, I want pay.
I don't want.
I'm sorry. 5 playoff games, 4 on the road, I think.
So, by the way, you got easily 10 guys before you get to Zach Taylor.
No, not easily. I think you get to 8, 9, and I don't think Nick Sirianni's a great coach. Well, he won a Super Bowl again. Yeah, okay, great.
Sirianni or Zach Taylor?
Best GM in the league, top 4 owner. Now, listen, you like plaques. I get it.
I don't like plaques. I like W's.
You like
and the Bengals have not had a lot of those.
I don't care about awards. I want playoff wins.
Okay, what do you make, Colin, of the fact that every freaking September, Zach Taylor's team comes out and is ill-prepared to start the season? Every year.
Interesting. Would it be that Burrow every year is recovering from an injury?
And maybe the coach should get his quarterback to get healthier or get on the practice field or get ready.
That was a sophisticated take. Well, the coach has to get his quarterback healthier. Why
is the quarterback always hurt? Maybe they don't have an offensive line.
Well, no, there's an answer. Scheme. There's an answer. Again, take a deep breath. Cheapest owner. Don't pay for offensive lines. He always has bad protection. That's not Zach Taylor's issue. Sean McVay, part of his greatness is Les Snead and Stan Kroenke, who he can go in the market and buy. At one point, they paid Stafford and Jared Goff. You think Cincinnati won't even pay T. Higgins. Owners run sports. If you have a bad one, the owners run sports. I mean, that's the way it works in the NFL. You have an impulsive owner. I mean, it's not a coincidence. Robert Kraft has a bunch of rings. The Hunt family has a bunch of rings. Jeffrey Lurie's got rings. You think that's a coincidence?
Oh, I forgot. You mentioned the Patriots have a new coach. He's got a much better track record than I would
Zach put Taylor. Vrabel top 10. Yeah, I think Zach Taylor's in that 10, 11, 12 space.
Okay, so if Zach Taylor hits the market, the Bengals fire him. Is he getting another head coaching job instantly?
Yes, absolutely.
I would take the under on that.
All right.